Your designs, whether in fashion or graphics, carry an essence of transformation. What deeper message or spiritual philosophy guides your creative process, and how do you hope people feel when they engage with your work?
I love that question. What do I hope people feel? I hope people feel the essence of imperfection. Because I feel like that's kind of how I look at myself in a sense. And I have no choice but to get personal. And sometimes I try not to, and that's just like my ego talking and the surface of me. But I really see myself as imperfect, and it's a beauty within that. And that's what I try to put into my work, because art is art. Art is life. Life is art. And it's imperfect. Like, nothing is perfect, no matter how hard we want things to be. And I feel like that's the main thing that I want people to get from my art, because it can fully relate to the people that's viewing it, because that's how people are. Can you repeat the first part of the question? Because I feel like you asked two questions.
Your designs, whether in fashion or graphics, carry an essence of transformation. What deeper message or spiritual philosophy guides your creative process?
Oh yes, transformation. I'm an Aquarius, and not to get into astrology and all that, but I be looking into it deeply. And as an Aquarius, we're literally always going through transformations. It's like the new cycle after new cycle after new phase after new phase. It's like we're always trying to innovate, and that's what I always try to do within my work. Whether it's like my personal stuff for myself, or like professionally, or just to put out there in the community. And also being a woman, like, we continuously go through transformations all the time. We're always changing, always evolving. So that's what I want to keep in my work.
Tying spiritual philosophy into your creations?
Yeah.
For the second question, I want to ask, as a young woman building a brand in both fashion and design, how do you navigate the balance between personal identity, artistic integrity, and industry expectations?
I feel like I'm just now trying to figure that out, because growing up, I've literally been all over the place and just trying to figure out like what I like, who I am. So I feel like I'm just now taking, I wouldn't say the first step, because it's like I have doors that are opening for me. It's just, I'm just trying to figure out where to go and what paths to take, and how to structure my life the way I want it to be, because I have free will just like everybody else. And I feel like I'm focusing and putting my time into my craft and my talents, especially as like a designer, a graphic design student, and a seamstress. It's always new things to learn and new avenues to go down.
Have you ever had to choose between authenticity and opportunity?
Yeah, I feel like that happens often. Authenticity and opportunity. Can you like explain it a little bit? Like, what do you think?
I feel like authenticity, having to choose to let your creativity be one within itself and pure to itself, versus the opportunities of the outside world and like the pressures of it. And like, if there's an opportunity that sort of dims the authenticity of your work, have you ever had to choose between the pureness of your creations and the outside pressures of the world?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's also something I'm trying to navigate. Especially getting into the graphic design industry, it's like I'm looking for opportunities, but I strive to create my own because I can really find a job like as a graphic designer, but I'm not really, it might be limiting depending on like what opportunities I choose. So I feel like I'm kind of navigating through that right now, just looking for where I fit in within the industry I want to get into. And it's kind of hard, honestly. It's hard, but it's easy at the same time because it's like we're in a time where we can create our own avenues like that, but you just have to have a structure with that. And I feel like I'm getting to it. You know, next time we speak, you know, I'll be on a whole other level. But yeah.
For the third question, many artists and designers create from a place of personal experience and inner vision. How has your own life's journey, its challenges, triumphs, and revelations shaped the visual language of your brand?
Well, I'm very spiritual, and literally I do everything I do is based off of my spirituality. And I try to find meaning in everything. And I feel like first starting off, because I started sewing when my little sister was born, and I used to hand sew and remake her clothes and stuff like that she grew out of. And I was like, I think I was like 11 or 12. But I've always been like artistic, and I've always like been an artist basically. Like I used to be in elementary school selling my artwork and stuff like that for like class money and money period. But I feel like as I got older, like even where I came up with the name Pretty Ugly, it's been because of my experiences. And it mustered up from a lot of sadness, to be honest. And I feel like it being pretty ugly, I feel like I came from the ugly in order to be pretty. Even though I've always been beautiful, like I've always been a beautiful person, but you know, I've been through a lot. My family has been through a lot. I've been through a lot with my family, and even outside of my family, like I've just experienced things that kind of broke me down. And I've always just tried to harness and hold the beauty inside of me, even if it came out as like anger or sadness or depression. Like, and that's why I'm so like focused on the things that are imperfect, because once again, that's who I am. And yeah, it's like I transmute all of the bad memories, the bad choices, the bad feelings into something better. And even with starting off with like just redoing clothes that old clothes that I had before I started working with like actual fabrics and stuff like that, I feel like that just is continuously shaping like my brand culture and what I stand for and what I see in myself and where I've grown and where I want to be.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That was long, but yeah, that's how I feel.
That was a good answer to the question. For the fourth question, your work isn't just about aesthetics, it's about storytelling, energy, and emotion. How do you channel emotions in tangible art, and what role does intuition and spirituality play in your creative decision making?
intuition is the main thing. Like nothing. I don't do things based off of pattern. I do things based off of like how I feel, and a lot of that has came from anger. But I'm learning now how to create things from happiness too, because it gives a different feeling. Like even though like I love wearing all black, I want to put more color and stuff, and more what's the word? Is it vibrance? More vibrant energy into what I do now. So it's like I'm coming from the depths and bringing my brand to life almost, in a way, you know, step by step, like
Phoenix from the ashes.
Phoenix from the ashes. And you know, that's crazy because I've been thinking about that a lot. Phoenix from the ashes.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I like that.
For the fifth question, if your brand could be described as a movement rather than just a business, what change would you want to ignite in the world?
Authenticity. Everybody just need to be real and take off their mask.
Yeah.
That's really the movement. Like, truth is the movement. Truth is the movement. Love is the movement. Yeah.
How do you see your artistry as a vehicle for... Hold on. God, yo.
You broke character?
Oh my God. What is going on? Okay. How do you see your artistry as a vehicle for healing, empowerment, or evolution?
Whoa, like, that's everything I just explained. Like, it's healing me. It's healing me. It's doing more than healing me. It's like building me, like, into a whole new me that I've never met before. And it's like, I've been this person already, like the core of me. But it's like I'm breaking through layers that have like tried to like shut me down or like keep me in a shell, only because of me trying to protect myself. And yeah, it's definitely, my art is definitely the vehicle to my healing journey and me building whatever I want to do.
I do have a few bonus questions. I know that you said your creativity is inspired from a lot of your childhood, how you grew up and how you already were, and how you're healing each and every day with your creativity and your work. I do want to touch on that and ask, who is some of your biggest inspirations for what you do?
My little me. The me I came from. My little sister, my younger sister, my siblings, period. Like, my siblings inspire me so much. As well as my parents too. I feel like life inspires me because I'm so curious. Like, I'm such a curious person. And I love to experience new things and even old things. Like, some things never get old. Even like growing up, like how a lot of people would just, a lot of my friends would like talk about how they would be bored and stuff like that. And I would just say, like, I'm never bored. I'm never bored with anything. Like, cause I don't know. I feel like I always pay attention to details, and I always find the newness within things. Erykah Badu has always been an inspiration to me. Like, I used to be really obsessed with her. Like, growing up, I made this whole blog, like, just about her, like, focused on her. And she's just always been someone in an energy that's like spoke to the core of me in a sense. And Bob Marley. I always used to say that's my twin because he an Aquarius too. Who else? Rihanna. That's my girl. That's my girl. We got the same rising sign, Aries, that fiery energy. And it's crazy because I used to think that my rising sign was Pisces. And I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so emotional. Like, I can't. But then I had found out my real birthday, and I found out that my rising is Aries, and it makes so much sense because I'm so passionate about like the things that I do and the things that I learn about and the things that I want to do, and it's just like a fire within me. But yeah, like life inspires me, period.
I'm probably gonna make this the last question.
Okay, whatever you want to do.
Okay, actually no, I might do 2 more questions. Okay. I do want to touch on one of the topics that we had brought up earlier in the interview. I know that you said you have a lot of healing in the creative work that you do, and whether that's healing your anger, your sadness, do you feel as though, I gotta figure out how to word this, but I feel like you kind of answered that already.
What?
Because I was gonna say like something along the lines of, do you feel like you put your emotions, whether that's anger or sadness or anything, putting that into your art, do you feel like that you express it in a way that you feel aligns with how you truly want to do it, or does it sometimes get
misconstrued?
Yeah, I just gotta figure out how to word that.
Actually, that is a good question. I feel like you worded it good though. Like, I feel like sometimes even my artwork or my creations can get misconstrued to myself too, because sometimes I can do things, it's almost like literally I'm channeling. Like sometimes even this, like I just wanted to continue to look at this while like we were doing this, because I feel like even this did not make sense to me, but I feel like this is me, like who I am. I don't know if you want to look at it, but that is me right there. It's like I just be doing things, and it can come from my past, but it's also looking into the future. Like, yeah, so sometimes even when I do stuff, I be like, I don't know what this means at this very moment, but I feel it. Like, I feel what I'm doing, and I know it's authentic to who I am at this point in my life, or who I was and have been. And I'll get the answers to whatever I'm doing when the time comes. It's like, I feel like now that I'm more present in who I am, I'm not looking through someone else's eyes anymore. And that's how a lot of my work has come out. It's like I'm looking through somebody else's eyes.
For the last question, I do want to ask, just a moment. Okay. For the last,
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. For the last question of the interview, I do want to touch on the topic that we discussed earlier about authenticity and opportunity. As a person with your level of creativity, do you ever feel as though you have to conform to the outside world and become a more generic individual? Both you and your brand?
No. I used to feel like that. And that's why it took me a long time to even share like what I'm doing, because I'm like, it's not perfect enough. Like, what are people, well, not really what are people gonna think, because honestly, to the core of me, I don't care. But no, I don't feel like I have to conform to anything. Yeah. As long as I stick to my values and my morals, like, I don't have to conform to anything that's outside of me and that I don't stand for.
Okay. Phoenix from the ashes.
Phoenix from the ashes.
Phoenix from the ashes. That was our interview with Mantra, the designer of Pretty Ugly. Getting to know more about her and her brand, and there will be many more interviews such as this.
Yes, definitely. I love this. Thank you so much for having me. Yes.
It's nice to have you. It's nice to have you.
Yeah! That was good. This is the start of some news.
Yeah.